Hello and welcome to our video on arc length. Let's take a look at example 1. Find the length of the arc. In this case, we're looking for this particular length, okay? So imagine you want to put some wire or you want to put something around this one, maybe some fence or anything around that particular arc, okay? So the first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and find the circumference for the entire circle. Let's pretend we're interested in the whole circle for a moment. So circumference is given through the formula pi times the diameter, or 2 times pi times the radius. In this case, let me write both for you. Now here, my circumference is really just pi times the diameter. Notice since the radius is 12, I'm going to double that to get the diameter. So this is times 24 miles. Okay, so really your circumference is 24 pi miles. But keep in mind, that's the circumference for the entire circle. We don't want the whole circle though, okay? So how much out of that arc do we really want? Well, let's see what fraction. We have 4 pi thirds out of the whole central angle, which is 2 pi, okay? So I'm going to divide that, and if you remember, based on your previous courses, this is equivalent to saying I'm going to take 4 pi over 3 times the reciprocal of 2 pi, which in this case is 1 over 2 pi, okay? And I just multiply across, so I have 4 pi times 1, that will give you 4 pi. Then I have 3 times 2 pi, that will give us 6 pi. Pi divided by pi is 1, so we can cancel those out. And we can find the greatest common factor of 4 and 6. In this case happens to be 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so we're only interested in 2/3 of the entire arc. Okay, or the entire circumference. Therefore, the arc length in this case, it's simply equal to 2/3 of the entire circumference. But my entire circumference was 24 pi miles. So I can just say, well, 24 divided by 3 happens to be 8. And 8 times 2 happens to be 16. So really your arc length in this case is 16 pi miles. Okay? So let's summarize the process. When you're looking for arc length in this type of problems, the first thing you want to do is find the circumference. Once you have the circumference for the entire circle, you just decide based on the angle that you're given corresponding to that particular arc, how much is out of the entire circle is actually of your interest. So we did that by saying, let's take 4 pi over 3 divided by the 2 pi, which is the entire central angle corresponding to the whole circle. And we simplify that. In this case, we got that to be 2/3. So we're only taking 2/3 of the entire circumference. Hence, the arc length is 2/3 of the circumference of 24 pi miles. And that reduces or simplifies to 16 pi miles. Okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at one more example on arc length. Example 2. Find the length of the arc. Again, let's go ahead and figure out what is the circumference for the entire circle. So the circumference is pi times the diameter, or 2 pi r. In this case, our radius is 10 feet, so I can double that, okay, to get my diameter. So circumference is just 20 pi feet, okay? Now, I need to see how much, okay, in terms of the whole circumference, how much is this particular arc. To do that, let me go ahead and divide the 3 pi over 4 by the 2 pi. Why am I dividing by 2 pi? Because the 2 pi represents the whole central angle corresponding to the entire circumference, okay? But this expression is equivalent to 3 pi over 4 times the reciprocal 2 pi. And the reciprocal 2 pi is 1 over 2 pi. So 3 pi times 1 is 3 pi. 4 times 2 pi is 8 pi. And notice that pi divided by pi is 1. So we're only interested in 3/8 of the whole circumference. Therefore, the arc length in this case is equal to 3/8 of the 20 pi feet. Now, we find the greatest common factor of 20 and 8, which happens to be 4. So let me divide both numerator and denominator by 4. Now, by doing that, this becomes a 5. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And 5 times 3 is 15. So that's 15 pi feet divided by 8 divided by 4 is just 2. Okay? So your arc length is 15 pi over 2 feet. Okay? So once again, you just find the circumference, you find the corresponding portion for the arc of interest. In this case, you multiply those out and that will give you your arc length. Okay? That concludes this tutorial video on arc length. Thank you for watching and good luck on your homework.